Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome back to Let's Play Air-Sea Battle for the Atari 2600. In the last video, we played the bomber games, where we took control of a bomber plane and shot down targets from above. And now, we have the Polaris versus bomber games, where the left player flies the plane, the bomber, and the right player controls the ship at the bottom, which is the Polaris. The only problem is, since I'm only able to play with one player for this Let's Play, I'm only going to be able to show off the bomber gameplay and not anything of the Polaris. However, if you've seen the Polaris gameplay, you're not missing out on much. The Polaris and the bomber control much like they do in their respective games. You go fast and slow with up and down respectively, and you go normal speed when you don't have the joystick held in either direction for both the Polaris and the bomber. And you still fire with the fire button. And of course, your speed will still be dictated by how fast you're going or how slow you're going. So there are 6 game modes, and I'll be able to show off 4 of them. The first one is game mode number 22, which is just a good old Polaris versus bomber fight. I can't believe I hit that. Since I'm playing as the Polaris, or not Polaris, but the bomber, I'll be able to do some weird shots sometimes with the bomber. And whenever I'm directly above the bomber, I can just go at normal speed. And if I'm directly above the bomber and lined up with them, I can just drop a bomb at normal speed, and then that'll be that. The direction of the target will change at random whenever the target is shot. So sometimes the bomber will go left or right when it comes back, and sometimes the Polaris will go either left or right when it comes back. You just gotta be on top of things so that way you don't get shot. I probably should have held down there, but oh well. That'll take care of that bomber, though. Being able to play this with just one player is thoughtful, but kind of useless. You really need 2 players for this sort of game mode. It's a lot more fun, honestly. You're better off playing the Polaris and the bomber games themselves if you don't have a second player. But even then, this can still be a little bit of fun. The only thing that really changes about the target is the direction. You don't have to worry about the elevation of the targets changing or anything, or the speed. Just the direction, which is going to be 50-50 every time. I could have gotten 23rd point there, but oh well. Anyway, game 23 is much like game 22, except we have guided missiles, which we can control with up and down on the joypad. By slowing down, the angle becomes more narrow, and by speeding up, the bomb also kind of speeds up as it goes down. I can't believe I'm nailing all of these so far. But hey, at least I have a good idea of what I'm doing now. 10 points easy. Very nice. Managed to hit the very front of that. I didn't think I would hit that at all, to be honest. Yeah, once you have a good idea of where the ship is coming from, you'll have a good idea on how to hit it sometimes. And you can just change the angle in which the ship is dropping to compensate, basically. Very nice. Didn't have to line up completely all the way. Didn't have to do anything there at all. Slowed down a little bit for that one, but that's okay. I probably didn't have to slow down for that one either, but, well, that helps. And 28 points. I don't think I missed a single time in that entire session on game 23. Anyway, game 24 is you versus the computer, where the computer controls the plane and will fly at a constant speed across the playfield and dropping bombs while you control the ship with the right joystick controller. I'm not going to be able to play that. Which leads us to games 25, 26, and 27, which are the same as 22, 23, and 24 respectively, but also involve mines. Now with game 25, you won't be able to guide your missiles, but you can still do shots like that if you know what you're doing. You want to be very careful with your shots. The mines do not give you points, though you can get rid of them with your bombs, like so. Just remember that they will come back if you do it. And sometimes the mines will go in opposite directions, sometimes they'll go in the same direction. Especially if you shoot one bomb long enough, or one mine down there. They'll both go in the same direction eventually. If you're able to shoot down a mine and it happens to go the same direction as the other mine you didn't destroy. Basically. And knowing tricks to make it easier to drop bombs on the other person, if you can practice them in the non-mine mode, it'll be a little easier to do it with mines. Game 25, more or less all about skill, just like game 22, but, well, it's even more so now because we have the mines on the screen. Still lined up, so I was still able to hit that. This is going pretty well so far, not gonna lie. And I might as well speed up for this one. Perfect. Wasted a little bit of time there. Also had to slow down for that one. And I sped up to stay away from the mines and keep them out of my line of sight there. And I can't shoot anymore. So I finished game 25 off with 18 points. Now it's time for game 26, which is the same as game 25, except we can now control the angle of our shots by speeding up and slowing down again, just like in game 23. We just have the mines this time. So let's make this work, shall we? Managed to hit the front of that. Managed to hit the back of that. Probably didn't have to slow down to hit that, but well, it helped. And able to line myself up here. Slow down a little bit. Got back to normal speed for a second, and then slowed down again. And I hit a mine, but I should be okay. I didn't have to change that at all. I didn't have to change the angle on that one bit. I thought I'd hit that. I nailed that one, though. Slowed down for that one. Didn't have to slow down for that one. I actually had to speed up ahead of time there. And as fun as it is to do this with regular missiles, it's also just as fun with the guided missiles just because of the science of it all. Because you can do some pretty interesting shots like what I was doing earlier. And sometimes you don't have to change your shots at all, which can also make this rather interesting. And I thought I'd be able to hit that, but sadly I could not. 25 points for game 26, and that leads us to game 27, where once again the computer controls the plane and you control the ship. Only thing is, the mines are involved in that game mode as well. And that I won't be able to play, which is sad because it's the 27th and final game mode that there is. So we have seen everything that there is for this game. So, Air-Sea Battle for the Atari 2600. Not a bad game. Not a bad game at all. The graphics are pretty simple, but you can easily tell what everything is. The sound is what you'd expect from virtually any Atari 2600 game, but at least it's not super annoying. You do have sound for when you fire, and when you fire a missile, and when you destroy a target, and all that. It's as basic as it gets, but it works. The controls, once you know how they work, which doesn't take too long to figure out, are pretty good and pretty responsive. They're about as good as they're going to get here, and I can't really ask for anything more. Though I do have to admit, some of the variations, such as the ones with guided missiles, can be a little fun. Especially when you know how to control your speed and therefore control your missiles with it. Well, speed in some cases, sometimes it's the angle of your vessel. Sometimes that will the angle in which you're aiming that will sometimes dictate that. And even when that's what's going on, it can be pretty good at that in that way as well. So you'll have plenty of fun with the game variations, especially if you're able to plug a controller into the right controller port and play against a computer. And finally, the replay value. Your mileage may vary on this one. You may play this for a couple minutes before deciding to play something else. You may play for maybe even slightly more than that. It really depends on whether or not you're into the simple fun that this game provides. And finally, is this game worth checking out? Is this game worth getting? Yes. I definitely get it for the Atari 2600 collection. It's definitely worth checking out. I can say that much. I can definitely picture getting it for the collection and playing it every now and then, especially with what I've shown off. There's quite a bit of fun to be had here, I'm not going to lie. So get this one if you can. So anyway, this has been Let's Play Air Sea Battle for the Atari 2600. Hopefully I will be back with another game. Maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be bad. Maybe it'll be somewhere in between. Who knows? Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care. Stay safe. Thanks for watching and see y'all later.